Hi, this is Dr. O'Hara, and I wanted to give you some tips on the internship draft. First of all, you want to make sure that the margins are 1 inch all the way around, and that the font is Times New Roman 12 point, that the spacing is double spacing. And one more thing that you need to do if you have this feature is to check off this don't add space between the paragraphs, so you won't have some odd spacing. The title page is formatted for you on page 28 of the DHS Style Guide. You start with the title in full caps as the first line on the page, and you use this inverted triangle format, double space twice, put in the name of the class, double space 4 times, put in your name and your designation, double space 7 times, and put in this header that's required on the paper, double space twice, and put in Nova Southeastern University and the date. Then you move on to the next page, which is the abstract. At this point, you want to make sure that you have put in the page numbers, which are going to be at the top of the page on the right hand side. And the other thing that you want to be sure about is that the font is Times New Roman for the numbers. And the other thing that you want to be sure about is that the first page is different than the rest of the pages, is checked off because the first page does not have the page number and the subsequent pages do. You need to put in this header here for the abstract, and then 2 double spaces, the title of your paper in full caps in the inverted triangle, then your name, the date, then double space twice, indent 1 tab, and you start the text for your abstract. You can find this on page 30. Then for the table of contents, if you're going to be doing the 5-chapter format, I wanted to give you a tip on doing that. One of the things that you need to do is first make sure that your margin is in this right justified margin over here. Then you put in the chapter and page, and then you move the page all the way over to the right hand side. If you go too far like I do, then you just come back 1. Then you double space and put in the first heading, which is the introduction. Put in the dot leaders. And I normally don't put in the page number until I'm finished with the paper, because I usually don't know what the page numbers are going to be. If you go too far like I usually do, you just go back 1 and there you are. Notice how the 5 lines up under the E and the 1 lines up under the C. The rest of this table of contents is in the course paper format. The DHS Style Guide wants you to put in up to level 3 headings. That's why I put in this reminder here about the headings. If you need to continue the table of contents, this is the way you do it. Table of contents, double space, put in page, and then continue with your table of contents. Whether you use the 5-chapter format or not, there is no chapter designation on the side. When you get to the next page, which is the introduction, if you're going to put in the chapter designation, be sure you do that. And the other thing you need to be sure about is that the margin has now been returned to the left flush. And I will continue with the introduction in my next segment.